Yes, hello everybody, it's Tommy G here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the best way to start your public speaking presentation, whether it's a keynote, whether it's a training, whether it's any kind of pitch or presentation. This will help you. Now, we are conditioned as human beings to understand the storytelling framework that is beginning, middle, and end. And if we think about where the risks or the challenges are when it comes to public speaking, or the thing that we find the hardest or the most daunting, dare I say it, most terrifying, it's the thought of messing up, the thought of getting it all wrong, the thought of looking like a complete idiot stood up there and basically tanking your presentation. Now, what I've come to understand, come to learn, come to practice and prove is that if you can, or rather when you can, nail the beginning 2 minutes of your presentation, what it does for you is it allows you to dissolve any doubt or anxiety about messing up the start of your talk. We all have internal dialogue, and when we're up there, if we are feeling a little bit hot under the collar, if we are aware that we're tanking, we're getting words wrong, we're losing the audience and they're not quite engaging with us in the way that we'd hoped, then it can have a very diminishing effect on our psychology. So we can start to spiral down and compound on how bad the talk is. So what we're able to do if we plan the start of the talk is we're able to condense that. We can understand it, we can feel confident and competent about what we're doing. And that internal dialogue then becomes this instead. It becomes, this is going really well, this is all going to plan, I know exactly what I'm doing, I know exactly what's next, and I'm pleased with this feedback that I'm receiving through my eyes and my ears. And so it's about bandwidth and focus, and it's minimizing the risk of your talk falling apart. If we get the start right, it then allows us to transition into the middle, and the middle is just about content. It's you teaching or sharing what it is that you've planned, why you're there, like the whole reason that you're stood at the front, the whole reason you're giving the presentation. And when it comes to content, you got to know your stuff, and if it helps you, if it makes you feel better, if someone was to come up to you in the street and say, hey, you're that person that does this and that, can you tell me about it? You probably wouldn't go and get your notes out and go, yeah, 1 second. You would be able to just do it because it's what you do and it's what you know. So very important point. We're not going to talk about the ending today because we don't have time, it's not important. Today we're talking about the beginning, but you need to understand the middle in order to see where it goes. So, in a moment, I'm going to share with you an example of a recent talk that I did. Now, my strategy for this talk was that I wrote everything that I wanted to say, word for word, on a piece of paper. I scripted it all. I sort of read it out loud a few times. I tried it on for size. I got a feeling for it. I imagined myself delivering the talk. And then I condensed those words down to single one-line prompts. I then slept on it, woke up the next day, tried to remember it without looking at my notes, and noticed where my weak spots or blind spots were in terms of what I thought I'd written. Then I looked at it again and I made that learning go even deeper into my mind. And then I'd take it into very simple one-word bullet point format. Because then I know that I'm only remembering 4 or 5 single units of information. And when I remember that information, I can memorize the sequence and I know exactly what I'm going to be talking about because I've practiced it for a couple of days already. So in this talk, this was my strategy. Say wow at the start, how impressive the event is. Give a round of applause to the event organizers. Make fun of my own name and share a story. Start sharing a story about the event organizer and myself and how we met to set up the talk itself. And then state my objectives and intentions for the talk. So you can see this in the next clip, but I hope this helps you. And if you are delivering a talk soon, remember, first 2 minutes, practice it, rehearse it, like it's a scene from a play, and condense it down to bullet points so that you can easily shrink your bandwidth. Trust the process, trust yourself, and then allow your wings to spread as you get into your content and do your thing. All right, here's the clip. Wow, no pressure then. Quite the introduction. Thanks, Brad. Before I start, please join me in showing a little bit of appreciation to everybody that's behind this event. Because I think, running events myself, being involved with various different events, it takes a lot of work. And I think the guys and girls have done an amazing job. So a big round of applause, everybody. Cards on my hands. We can also make a little bit of noise before some of you in the back. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, come on mate, what's your real name? Tommy Gentleman, but that is my real name. Great now, great for business, terrible at school, not good. I remember in PE, gentlemen stand up! All the lads stood up, all of them. No, I meant Thomas. I stood up, they sat down. But hey, you are not going to forget that, are you? You're not going to forget my name, which makes it really easy to find me on social media and various platforms. So if you think anything that I share with you in the next 28 minutes is useful, and you have any questions at any point, you can reach out and ask me. I don't bite, it's all good. So then, here we are. Let's get to know you a little bit. Hands up if you've been to this event before. Right, nice. And just to make it even, show of hands if this is your first time. Wonderful. So it's mine as well. I didn't have a clue, to be honest with you, about this event until a few months ago, when I came along to another event as Brad's guest to go and watch him speak and sort of hang out with him for a bit. I don't think he thought this was my real name either, to be fair, and I think he probably thought a lot of things about me that he doesn't think now. And likewise, to be honest, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to go. I'm going to go along and I'm going to check it out. And Brad has sort of shared a little bit of what happened. We were on a picnic bench together outside a bar, you know, as you do on a nice summer's day. Just two lads talking about business. And he goes, he starts sort of posturing to me a little bit. He's like, go on then. I'm like, what? He's like, come on then. I'm like, what do you want? Fight what? He's like, sell me something. So guess what? You're a salesperson too. You've been selling yourself, not like that, since you started the business. Because you've had to show up to meetings, you've had to network with people, you've had to have sales calls, you've had to make door-to-door or cold calls or DM people on social. If you don't sell anything, you don't have a business. Yeah, you don't have a business. So today, I'm actually going to be talking about the area of sales and marketing that perhaps is more relevant to me, and that's the marketing side. Because marketing is the thing you do to make it easier to sell. So with all that in mind, what's the challenge that we're faced with? Well, I think... Thanks for watching the video. Please do let me know what you've taken from it, what you're going to use to help your next presentation, and any comments and questions that you might have, pop them in the comments. Cheers.